Happy Easter, boys and girls. I'm James R.I. Katie.
And I, of course, am the esteemed Michael, I'm not saying that, Balargin. And we are the
PoorTasteBuds
of Under 655 Studios.
655!
Oh. Yes. Easter, a magical time of year where we take time to acknowledge the heroic sacrifice of Mr. Cottontail the Wise, who gave his life to turn all of the king's enemies into chocolate.
That's right. Fun fact, did you know that that's actually where we get the story of King Midas from?
Of course I did, James.
Well, then you would also be aware of the ceremonial food associated with this most wonderful of spring festivals.
Well, that would be eggs, wouldn't it?
Spot on, chum. And so, dear viewers, we're here to teach you the real reason for the season with a selection of egg dishes. Michael, would you be so kind as to fetch the carton of eggs from the refrigerator?
I would.
Ooh, organic. Michael, would you be so kind as to open the carton of eggs from the refrigerator?
Sure. No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Nope.
Yes, Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Come on, brother. It's not so bad. Think of St. Uncle Wiggily. Did he say no when the time came to defend his volcano from all those ninjas? No, he didn't. He got right up, brushed off his lederhosen, and chopped off all their heads with a single throw of his mighty boomerang.
I guess you're right.
That's right. And how did he celebrate his victory?
With a nice frosty glass of eggnog?
Damn right, with a nice frosty glass of eggnog.
See, what you want to get here is it's some nice stiff peaks. You can tell, like when you put the beater, you get sort of you lift it and it forms little mounds, and they hold their form when you remove the beater. So.
Yep, they do.
So, Cadbury Eggnog. I don't have a lot in the way of notes for this specific dish, but since there's not really a lot of explanation so far as to, we're doing a bunch of egg dishes this episode to raise awareness of how sick we are.
Or that.
The goal is to replace basically all the eggs in any given recipe with Cadbury eggs. It's gonna be weird, but for the first time ever, Mike has several courses, done the research and all that stuff, prepared. Not made yet, but you know what I mean. I'm gonna be surprised. He's responsible for 3 of the courses, and I don't know what they are. And as usual, he doesn't know mine, but that's not new.
So I also didn't know the twist.
Yes, he didn't know for sure.
I had an idea, but I was like, no, he's not that.
Yeah, I'm not that insane. Famous last words, Michael. In this particular case, as a general rule, I think that if the recipe calls just for straight up eggs, the whole Cadbury egg goes in. Whites, if it calls for separated whites and yolks, I mean, if we're being technical, the chocolate parts should all just go in the garbage because those are shells. But if they call for whites and yolks, and in this particular recipe they did, you had to separate them. Treat the chocolate as the white, and treat the fondant goop inside as the yolk. It was an interesting process, as you will have seen by now, because you just watched it happen. And, yeah. How do you think this is going to be, Michael?
I don't know. There's a piece of me that wants to believe that this is actually probably a good sort of translation. Because, I mean, eggnog, if you just made eggnog super sweet, would that be bad?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, my biggest concern is just that it will be too sweet, but otherwise it's more or less just going to be like chocolate milk. It looks like it, it smells like it, with a hint of nutmeg. And yeah, so I think it'll be okay. But there's only one way to find out, am I right?
I guess so.
It's not even that sweet. Like, it's sweet, but it tastes like chocolate milk.
It does.
There's the nutmeg. Nutmeggy finish.
Yeah.
Got a spicy finish.
It's like chocolate milk with nutmeg and rum.
But,
or not milk.
It's bourbon. You know, the traditional eggnog.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah. This can work. And
That'll fly.
Some of you may recall that my doctor has advised me to reduce my cholesterol intake. And since we're replacing all the eggs with Cadbury eggs, she'll probably be happy right up until I am
have to go to the dentist.
Hospitalized.
Oh, for diabetes, yeah.
Well, no, I was going to say insulin shock, which may happen tonight. I got a chunk.
A chunk?
Yeah, well, that's the only real concern I had. Was the goal is to prepare the dishes exactly as you would with eggs, but with Cadbury eggs. So one of the steps was to beat the whites. We might have to get creative in some cases and not replicate it exactly. The recipe called for beating the whites first to soft peaks, then to firm peaks, and really by the time and slowly whisk in like a teaspoon of sugar. And really it was just me mashing chocolate with the egg beater. Like I said, you guys saw it. He wasn't here for that. But we basically we ended up with a bowl full of like chunks of chocolate and dry sugar. Oh, that reminds me. Probably as good a time as any to let you know that this recipe is courtesy of one Alton Brown from the Food Network website. Obviously, thanks, Alton. With real eggs. Where was I?
Ooh.
Oh yes,
about chunks.
The recipe had two lists. Had two options. There's the uncooked eggnog, which is the traditional way to make it, and then there's cooked eggnog, which is safer, at least when you're making it with eggs. But I decided to do the cooked eggnog, if only because I thought it might help with the just large chunks of chocolate that have no business being in a beverage.
Did it?
Right at the end, when you finally mix them together, even though we put the hot stuff in the fridge to chill for a bit, it was still quite warm, and it mostly melted all of it. The whole process was a nightmare right up until the last step, and then everything sort of came together to make this nice little sort of a dessert beverage. Needs more bourbon though.
I'm good.
Mine needs more bourbon though. If I can't taste the bourbon, there's not enough bourbon.
Fair enough. Overall, not it's not that bad. It's kind of like sweet milk, but with bourbon in it.
Yep, and a little chocolatiness. Yeah,
a little bit.
I'd give it. Honestly, this could be it could be a beverage. Like if you made it for a party and brought it, people would drink it. It's a dessert beverage, like eggnog.
Eggnog is an every time beverage, James. I love real eggnog.
Well, I mean, nothing hits the spot on Easter better than a nice frosty glass of eggnog. Everyone knows that.
It's true.
I mean, I don't even know why I'm saying it because it's
so common,
such common knowledge.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, looking to spice up your Easter or Christmas festivities, you have an option.